are so loving, and they minister to the people that approach them, and that's really neat to see. I want to go back to talking about hope now, and how the kingdom is near, and how we can give hope now. What does that look like for those of us who are listening to you right now? What does that look like on a very practical level? Maybe something from your book that you can share.
Sure. The precursor to Hope Now is the first book I wrote called The Jesus Agenda, Becoming an Agent of Redemption, How to Become an Agent of Redemption. And it starts with Jesus walking into the synagogue at Nazareth and saying, the Spirit of the Lord is on me, the Spirit has anointed me to preach good news to the poor, to give sight to the blind, to give liberty to the oppressed, and to proclaim the acceptable year of our Lord's favor. So, that was his first sermon, and I think he outlined his agenda for his 36-month ministry. And he said he was going to do those things. So I raise the question and say, well, if we're followers of Jesus, should we be doing the same thing? Or should we be doing a different agenda? And so what it translates to in practical terms is when you go to the store and buy a $20, $25 pair of shoes, and you bring them to a shoe drive, you are actually blessing someone. You're showing up. You're giving good news to the poor, right? And when you go and volunteer at one of our Family Hope Centers, we're building one just north of Love Field at the Mothman Lake area. We're going to need 6,000 volunteers a year to make that work. When you go into the lives of families and you provide a listening ear, or maybe you do tutoring, or maybe some instruction, or we need folks to do father classes, parenting classes, and a number of different activities. It's just showing up. You're imitating what Jesus did when he came, right? When he showed up. And like you said earlier, sometimes just listening. Sometimes it's helping, giving a little bit of wisdom or training, and demonstrating to that person that you matter to God. And one way we can show that is to be there and engage with them. So there's all kinds of ways that people can engage with families in the Dallas area, in 13 markets in Texas and 6 countries outside the U.S. But primarily, it comes down to the incarnation. You have to show up, and that's what makes a difference.